Hey guys, hope everything is going well. All right, so I'm looking at Amazon and the stock tanked 20% at one point after hours. It went as low as $90, I think $89 in after hours. I think it rallied back to $96. I think there were buyers scooping shares up. And here are just a few things from I'm over at yahoo.com, and I think the reporter is Alexandra Garfinkel. So here are just some of the not headlines. Here are some of the revenue numbers, and I'll give my own take on it and talk about other stocks in that sector as well, in the tech sector. All right, the revenue was 127.1 billion versus 127.63 expected. Adjusted earnings per share 28 cents versus actually 22 cents. Amazon Web Service, AWS, 20.5 billion versus 21 billion. Okay, so they didn't hit the revenue targets. And if you don't exceed expectations, Wall Street downgrades you. And there are a few other things in the article that I want to touch base on and give my own analysis, but I'll read it. For the fourth quarter, Amazon guided to between 140 billion and 144 billion instead of the expected 155 billion. The company, like others that operate internationally, has been hurt by the strong dollar. Amazon also faces headwinds from inflation, rising interest rates, and fears of a recession. Q4 notably includes the holiday season, which the company is predicting to be tempered. Okay? Look at one of the sentences there. They were talking about the strong dollars hurting internationally. Okay? And this is also the same problem with many stocks that have operations, a lot of operations overseas. And that's why the S&P 500 has been going down, the stronger dollar index, right? And here's my opinion about the dollar index. It's a basket of currencies, so it's not really looking at the dollar in terms of what I believe it is, because I'm looking at inflation. Inflation's out of control, right? When inflation's out of control, you usually see a weaker dollar, but the euro is down significantly. So euro's down significantly. That automatically puts the dollar up because 60% of the dollar index is in the euro, or it's the euro. So strong dollar hurting stocks like Amazon. It's hurt the S&P 500. Also, inflation, rising interest rates, etc., etc., etc. Now, here are a few caveats, right? What if the Federal Reserve, as I talk about in all my videos, reverses course on they reverse course on raising interest rates, okay? Number two, you see the dollar index in the process of topping out, and you'll see a weaker dollar from here, as I've stated in my previous videos. A good indicator was Barron's was talking about the US dollar on their cover. That's a contrary indicator, okay? So when I see Amazon stock below $100, and if it goes even lower tomorrow, right? It's 96 after hours. If it goes down below 90 again, I'm probably gonna gobble it up, right? Probably put an options trade on. And here's the deal. The Fed has hinted, or it's been rumored, the Fed is going to pause raising interest rates in the coming months. And there are problems with Credit Suisse, and the Federal Reserve has already given money to the Swiss National Bank, from my understanding, which was probably funneled to Credit Suisse, and their stock has been hammered, okay? So when you're looking at that, I'm looking at the interrelated markets. And I expect interest rates, at least on the 10-year, to go lower. I expect the TLT ETF to rally. This is not investment advice, this is just my own thoughts. I follow this very intensely because I follow precious metals. I follow collectibles industry on my other sports channel, AIH Sports. So subscribe to that channel if you haven't. So I'm just looking at it like, look, Amazon seems pretty attractive at these levels, right? And I'm looking at not what news I see today, I'm looking at, hey, what does the future hold, right? And that's what sophisticated investors do. They look at the long term, right? They don't look at, okay, this news. Okay, some traders may look at that, but I'm not here to, when I put an options trade, it's still for the longer term though, right? And the thing is that, you could do deep in the money calls and hold it, right? It doesn't need to expire in the next day, right? You could hold options 3-6 months down the road. And, I lower my basis by doing that. But yeah, there's risk involved, right? Doing that. So just wanted to point that out. That's what I'm going to be looking at. And one of the things about Amazon, right? I have no shares as of right now, but I may get in tomorrow. I'm just thinking about it. The high was $185, November 18, 2021. All right. This thing has dropped down over 50%. Amazon, right? And I'm just looking at Facebook. Facebook has dropped down close to 75%. Google has dropped down a significant amount as well. I'm just looking at the 1-year chart right now is showing it was close to $150. Now it's what, $92? In my opinion, interest rates, the bond market rallies, the dollar index goes down. I believe these stocks are going to rally. Not investment advice. I'm not a FANGs guy, but I'm just looking at the inter-market related patterns that I've seen, that JC Peretz, technical trader, looks at. And this is a much different video than what some of you may have been expecting. Some of you may have been expecting me to crunch down the numbers. No, I'm looking at it from simply a fundamental analysis perspective. I want to buy assets when they are crushed, right? And not only that, I want to look at the sentiment. Sentiment is bearish. And 3, a lot of people are talking about dollar index continuously going higher. I mean, you could see a rally, but even more. But at the end of the day, what is the trend in the future? I'm talking about the next 18 months. I expect a weaker dollar. Weaker dollar will help the tech sector because they have operations overseas, and because of rising interest rates, inflation rates, cost of borrowing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If that gets lowered, that's going to help their bottom line. They're going to make more money. And I expect these stocks to rally, right? All these tech stocks. I expect precious metals to rally as well. I'm looking at some of the indicators out there that the banks are buying or in the process of buying these precious metals, okay? The futures market. I'm looking at all this, I'm thinking, okay, bond market's going to rally, in my opinion, which will help a lot of sectors out, right? I could be wrong, but this is just my opinion, guys. So I'm looking at Amazon stock below 100. It looks attractive to me, right? Could it go lower? Sure. But in my opinion, when the Fed is saying, hey, we're probably not going to be raising rates as aggressively as we have done the past few months, take a pause. That's bullish in my opinion. It's not going to go up in a straight line. There will be volatility, but it looks good to me in my opinion, guys. Anyways, let me know what you think. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thank you. Bye.